What up, guys? While we wait for the maintenance to be over, I thought, why not do a wife tier list? And also, I mean, once the, event comes out, I probably won't have a lot of time to do a bunch of shenanigans like this. And also, I wanted to do this as the 2025 video. But anyways, the main criteria I'm going off of is looks and personalities. Now, unfortunately, that means some characters who obviously get more screen time than others and also get more skins than others is going to have an unfair advantage. But for the most part, I'm not taking into account their actual, I guess, characterization. So like Kay, for example, I really like Kay as a character, but probably wouldn't be the highest on this list, I think. But anyways, I wanted to make this not in alphabetical order, but I don't have like a randomizer on the icons. I don't know how to do that. I don't think this website has that. So unfortunately, we're going to be going in alphabetical order. Now, the tiers that I'm going off from is S, obviously would be peak. I think I narrowed it down to 15. I think that's the number I cut off, because if I did it, I would have had like so many people up here. And then A would be top tier, B is good, C I put as I could see it working, D, I put probably pass. E, I would say not wife material. And then F would be I hate them. And then I got a daughter tier because, I mean, some of here are daughters, like Uma, but I mainly added some more columns here. I guess they're rows, not columns. I added extra ones because, like, while some of the characters I would put not as wife, I don't want to put them next to characters that I actually hate. I feel like that'd be messed up. So that's why I extended some of the tiers. But anyways, let's get this started. Now, Aid. We're going in alphabetical order, so Aid comes first. Now, Aid, very, very top tier. However, I probably wouldn't put her into S, so she was going to go into A. S is very competitive, as you will see, but Aid is fire. I'm telling you guys, during the, I think it was Breddy's event, she got a new costume. I was telling you guys, under the maid costume, Aid is hiding a sleeper build. And then during the coin rush event this year, we got to see that in full force. So Aid, definitely A tier fire. I mean, personality, looks, that's all that needs to be said. Also, I'm not gonna spend too much time on each character. One, there's 111 to go through. Oh, and also, I'm not counting alts, mass-produced, and NPCs and collabs. This is just the regular units, and the alts don't really matter because, I mean, like, Summer Anise is just Anise with a swimsuit. There's not really two different characters there, you know? I guess that doesn't apply to everybody, but fuck it, this is my list. And also, I'm not going to spend too much time on each character because I don't want to self-report. So, we're done. Okay, Admi. Now, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these characters I'm probably gonna say I don't know much about because I haven't finished all the events, and also some of them just don't get as much screen time. But Admi, I'm putting in the daughter tier. That's about it. Now, Alice. Alice was very interesting. Now, I think Alice has a childlike wonder. I would best describe it as not having lost the light in your eyes. And she's very cute. So, especially with the gotcha skin, dude, it's a bit hard, but I'm gonna put her in the daughter tier. I could see it not being there, but she reminds me more of, like, I don't know, a teenage daughter that is still childlike heart, I guess you could say, with the wonder, childlike wonder, and haven't lost the light in your eyes that comes usually with being employed. Alright, next, Admi, all three in the row. Admi is another daughter tier, I would say. I liked her a lot. She got a lot of screen time during the maid event this year, so I definitely enjoyed that. Also, this daughter tier is not in any specific order. These other ones I did put in like somewhat of an order of what I prefer, but the daughter tier is not in a specific order, okay? I don't like one daughter more than one. That would be messed up, okay? That being said, next up is Anise. In case you don't know me, then, I mean, I don't know what you expect. Anise is definitely my favorite, so she's going to be number one for the whole thing. Spoiler alert. Anise is perfect. She's a baddie, and I just love how goofy she is. And she was barking at Suyin, so, you know, there's that. S tier number one goes to Anise easily. Now, Anne is actually pretty interesting. Now, I have seen people say that the Anne Winter event was very, very depressing, and then they said I should definitely check that out, which kind of doesn't make sense for me, because you say it's really, really depressing and you want me to check it out, so what does that mean? You want me to kill myself, huh? Is that what you want? But anyways, I haven't watched that event. However, what I have been peeping every once in a while is, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's this like Nikke manga that's basically around Anne and her just messing around in the maid rush, and I've been reading some of that every once in a while, and that is fire. So I definitely love Anne, definitely in the daughter tier. Alright, next is Arcana. Now, Arcana was not the craziest for me at the beginning, but after her event, and I suppose I also doing her Bond story and stuff like that, she doesn't have a new costume yet though, which kind of sucks. However, she is new, right? I guess Freddy is also this year, but she already has a costume. Anyways, I didn't expect Arcana to come out swinging, and she definitely came out swinging when she released to try to get the wife spot, which is very hilarious. But, I mean, the only thing that is a bit off-putting, they did rectify this, you know, at the end of her event, they kind of fixed her memory loss shenanigans because she kept getting a memory wipe, and made it so that after the memory wipe, it's not the worst for her memories. But I do think it's kind of funny that what she would come home from work or something and be like, oh, I think I remember you. Just every single day with that. If you really think about it, then you could technically experience many first times with her. Think about it. Anyways, she's going in the A tier. We're moving on. Now, Adia's a bit unfortunate. She gets like no screen time, no nothing. However, I am a bit biased because, in case you don't know, the Japanese voice actor for her also voices my wife from Senran Kagura, so it's a bit of a bias, so I'm putting her in the D tier. Not the craziest because she doesn't get any screen time, but I'm a bit biased, so putting her in the D tier. Oh, Bae. Now, Bae is top tier. What you will come to find out is that tan lines get a unfair advantage and an extra point, I guess you could say. And I mean, Bae during the Coin Rush event was crazy mode. If they give her a summer alt, I might have a heart attack. So, and the favorite item, oh, I totally forgot about the favorite item. Bae is so bad. So, I mean, I'm just going to put her in the S tier. I think she's second. So we'll leave her there and we're moving on. Now, I believe this is Bellorta, right? Yeah, this is Bellorta because this one's Mika. So, Bellorta, I'm not going to lie, she doesn't get a lot of screen time. However, she did show up a lot during like the April Fool's events, and she was pretty goofy in those April Fool's events. Her and Mika run a toy store in the Outpost, and they're just cute, so putting them in the easy daughter tier. Alright, next up, Biscuit. Now, something that I am very curious about is whether they plan on making like more, well, what would be the word? I guess animal-like characters. That sounds bad, actually. More like Monster Girl type characters. Because currently we just have what? It's a cat girl, a dog girl, and I mean, Leona. What is Leona exactly? A fox girl? What does she count as? I know she has a Timmy lion, but like, what does Leona count? I actually don't know, but I wonder if we'll get anything else, like maybe a snake girl. Granted, that wouldn't make any sense because I don't know how much of a good idea it would be to not give, you know, a soldier legs and instead snake-like. What is it even? The tail, leg? The whole thing is called the tail? But anyways, back on topic. I got a bit distracted. I like Biscuit. Biscuit's pretty cute. She's got a bunch of goofy dogs. And, I mean, I like animals, so we're putting her in the C tier. Blanc. Now, Blanc. As you will see, a lot of these duo units I am quite fond of, but Blanc in particular, I do like Nor a bit better. But I think Blanc is definitely top tier. She is very bad. She works at Coin Rush, Bunny Girl. She is the staple Bunny Girl, okay? Her and Nor are the staples. And that event that comes around every year, she's basically the pioneer for that. So definitely got to put her in the S tier. And in fact, because Blanc is up there, I'm actually going to skip to Nor because you kind of have to put them right next to each other. They're a pair and they kind of go together. That being said, I do like Nor a bit better than Blanc. So we're putting it like that. Now, Breddy was also a new addition this year. And I'm not going to lie, she didn't really have anything too eye-catching for me, other than, I mean, her looks. And it is a bit goofy that the whole event was basically, I guess, building up to just her sucking on the commander's finger. Like, oh my god, that was so silly. But yeah, not much to say, but I definitely would put Breddy at the B tier. B for Breddy, it matches, okay? Next up, Brid. Now, Brid, I do like Brid. Brid feels this, like, office girl type-esque character. I guess I rarely like my office girl type characters. I will say, though, I think some of the office girl characters, there could be a new one that I probably would like more than all of the ones that are currently out. I definitely like the archetype, but the ones in here I wouldn't say are the craziest. I'm a fan of most of them. However, I think they could do better, at least pertaining to my type. That being said, Brid got a new unit, putting her in the B tier. B for Brid. I didn't even realize when I was doing this, but yeah, B for Brid. Side boob is crazy. Definitely one of the 7 treasures of this game. Now, Senti. Now, Senti actually turned up a lot during the summer event. I didn't expect her to go crazy tan mode, but she did, and the tan lines were crazy. Her fit was crazy during the summer event, and I also have a bias for tomboys. She's what, like one of the couple of tomboys in this game? Who would I even count? Her, Milk, definitely Mori, and oh, Delta definitely counts as well. Who else? Oh, from the top of my head, I don't remember, but those definitely count, and all of them I definitely do prefer. So she's going in the A tier, and in fact, yeah, I'll put her right there. Now, Chime. Chime is a bit too gremlin for me, and she is very, very loud and squeaky. While I do find that funny, I do not find that wife material, okay? So we're moving on, putting her in the E tier. Cindy. Cindy is definitely one of my favorites, and definitely a very good new addition to the cast. Her gotcha skin is fire. The other skin that they gave her is fire. I don't even know what you even want me to say, okay? Like, she's literally named Cinderella, okay? Like, what else do I have to put? Definitely S tier for me, brother. Alright, Clay. As you will come to find out, the duos that most people refer to them as the cookies and cream duo because, funnily enough, the duos of Norblanc, Bay Clay, and then Nagatia are one dark-skinned girl and one light-skinned girl, so they're just known as the Oreo duos, which is very funny. And that being said, I usually prefer, I guess, the chocolate over the cream part of the Oreo, I suppose. That being said, I definitely do like Clay. The cheerleading squad in this game is fire. That archetype is also fire. You can never go wrong with that skin, those costumes, the archetype. You can never go wrong with them. And that being said, I wonder if we'll ever get any more. They definitely can add, like, alts for them. We did get the costume for Polly. Remember that? So maybe we could get more costumes for cheerleaders. But that's besides the point. Clay, very, very top tier in the A tier. Now, Coco. Coco is pretty cute. She's part of the Maid Cafe. She likes ketchup. I like ketchup. Probably not as much as her, though. But I definitely like the architect they have going with Coco and the whole secret agent shenanigans. So that being said, I don't like her the craziest. I would probably put her in the same tier as Adia. Alright, next up is Crow. Crown. Now, I really, really like Crown. Okay, fine. I'll be serious. Crow goes in the Crow tier. Fuck off. I'm not talking about that. I don't like her, okay? If it was up to me, any Crow and Red Shoot sympathizers would be stoned in Town Square, okay? And we'd have a festival while they all get stoned. And that's all I'm saying about that. We're moving on. Crown. I really like Crown. She's very goofy. That being said, other than the event, she didn't really have a lot of stuff. I mean, her costumes are all fire, right? Especially the new one that they did for the anniversary. I really, really like that. And that'll probably hold me off until they rerun the gotcha skin, which hopefully they do rerun that. But it's just so funny. Crown is supposed to be like the king, and then she's like always messing up her words. Her goofy ass faces that she makes is awesome. And if you really think about it, if you were to be with Crown, would you be the queen a male queen? That's how it works, right? See, I was spending a lot of time thinking about that and not really thinking about Crown as a whole. So I'm going to put her in the A tier before I keep thinking about whether or not I would be called the queen or something. Next up is Crust. Now, Crust is easy daughter tier. She is so adorable. Her burst animation is her literally going, yippee! The only thing that I would love for this game to do as a gag, I don't know how easy it would be. It sounds kind of like a pain in the ass, but her chef hat, I think it'd be so funny if there's a gag that just randomly her sprite, the chef hat, is just comically large or just like regularly big or pretty big, and then, you know, then randomly comically large and then kind of small. It would just be so funny if randomly the chef hat just gets enormous. It's just so funny. But Crust, easy daughter tier. We're moving on. D. Now D is very, very funny because Killer Wife carries D. And the only thing about Killer Wife, though, is because she's very, very good at acting, that kind of knocks her down a bit. Because now I'm scared if she's actually capping or if she's actually going to kill me. That being said, I think the risk might be worth it, so we'll put her at B tier. Alright, next is Delta. Delta, another tomboy character. I would probably put her a bit lower than what I am thinking of putting her if it wasn't for her getting the ninja event recently. Oh, the ninja outfit they gave her for the alt is just so fire. And her actually doing, like, she literally did a Rasengan in the fucking event. Like, come on, man. You can't get better than that. Easy B tier, okay? We'll put her right there, I think. Yeah, that looks good. Diesel. Oh my goodness. I'm just telling you guys all my biases I have. Now, Diesel's Japanese voice actor is Rei Takahashi, okay? She's my goat. And just talking about Diesel, though, I mean, the new outfit Diesel got for her alt is really nice. The one that she used to have, the dress one, I also really like that as well. And, I mean, Diesel's favorite thing is strawberry candies. My favorite fruit is strawberries, okay? So I'm putting her in the A tier. Dala. Now, Dala is also one of these characters that don't get a lot of screen time, don't get a lot of love. That being said, though, I definitely do like her. She's got the architect of, like, the office lady. I would say probably not as good as Brid, though, but I do like the very, very short scenes that we have with her in the game, so I'll put her in the C tier, above Biscuit. Now, Dorothy. Okay, Dorothy, she's very bad. However, she's also a sneaky rat bastard, and I do not like her. If it was up to me, I think Rappy should have hit her a bit harder when they were boxing each other during the summer event on the yacht. And that being said, Dorothy goes into the F. She got kicked out of Ed and Ripbozo. Oh. Now, Drink. You will also come to find that I like distinct character types that, I mean, you can identify. For example, Drake is just a moron, just like Miranda. And, you know, I feel like guys like a girl who's got a couple of screws loose. And that definitely describes Drake. And, I mean, if you really think about it, she's the professional racist in this game. She wears the race outfit. And for that alone, she's going in the C tier. Alright, next is Ein. Now, I have this distinction for the vocation students, I think is what they refer to them as. Now, Ein and her squad, consisting of Zwei and Ray, I see them more as like high schoolers, and then Tianaga I see more as the next step, so maybe like an academy type thing. Is that how they have it in the game? I don't think so. Have they ever made that distinction? No. If they do make that distinction in the future, am I gonna abide to it? Also no. Come on, man. I have an agenda to keep up. The original author's intended view. Please. I got an agenda to upkeep. That being said, I would put Ein in the daughter tier around there. Yeah, I like her arc with Rupee, and like her dream is to become a designer working for Rupee, and then seeing little bits of that in other people's Bond, like her working for Rupee, designing some clothes. She fixed Bay's shoes during the Bond story. I love that shit. That shit just, oh my goodness. So definitely easy daughter tier. I definitely really, really like her arcs and stuff. Now, a leg. As you guys know, I also really like a leg. A leg is like almost perfect because she's a pro gamer, a little obsessed with Boom, but I mean, I like Doom. I haven't played the new one though. I played 2016 recently, not recently, but embarrassingly enough, I still haven't finished Doom Eternal. I'm like very close to finishing it, but I like haven't found time. But those games are fire. The new one probably looks fire. I'll probably enjoy it. I'm not the hardest to please video game wise, especially Doom. They definitely deliver on feeling like a crazy person mowing down demons. So Leg's definitely got some good taste there. That being said, I just really would love them to do a costume or another alt, and it's just a Leg having her bangs up and being all embarrassed the whole event. Oh my god, that would be so funny. Dude, shift up, please do that once, please. Anyways, I think enough blabbering. A Leg is S tier, definitely. I'll probably put her above Cindy. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I love a Leg a lot. Next is Emma. Now, Emma, I'm just going to say it right there. I love Emma. A tier easily. I'm not going to lie. It is a bit weird to do this after the live stream. There is a new skin that was announced for the Overspec Emma. And I don't know. It's like it actively rewired my brain. And it makes me want to put her up one more tier. However, I think the main drawback is the cooking, but I don't think that's the craziest drawback, okay? If you really think about it, you could potentially beat it with exposure therapy. Think about it. Maybe if you can eat it enough, maybe your body will adapt and then you won't die every time you try to eat the dark matter that comes out of her hands. Because think about it. I saw one guy on the internet say that he's trying to exposure therapy himself to be bulletproof. He started with the smallest caliber possible. Now that guy may or may not be dead, but that's besides the point, okay? Emma, probably the top of A tier. Next up is Epinel. Now Epinel is another one of these unfortunate characters that don't have a lot of screen time, and honestly I don't really know much about Epinel to go off of anything. I definitely think she's cute. Probably not wife tier. I would put her in the same tier as Chime. Ether. Now, Ether is pretty bad. She feels the office lady type of architect. However, my gut feeling for her is very bad. I don't like how she calls the commander number 7. I also don't like how she's kind of backhanded with stuff. And I just have a very bad gut feeling. And what I've learned is I should probably really trust my gut most of the time. So F tier for Ether. Next up is Yunwa. Now Yunwa got really lucky that she grew on me. When I first met Yunwa, I guess in the campaign, mostly, it was just this biddy with a stick up her ass that has a Megamind forehead, and I was like, okay, can she stop being an asshole? Dude, come on, what's the point? But she got lucky because they developed her character in a way that I actually like, and her overspec was also really good, and then that event I really enjoyed. And also the Gap Moe with the dress skin hit very hard, so she got lucky, alright? But if this was separated, Yuna would definitely be at the bottom. However, because she was on the come up and the overspec Yunwa and her whole growth, I very much enjoyed. I am putting her at the top of B tier currently. Now, Exia. Exia, I also wasn't the biggest fan of originally. However, she really grew on me. Especially, I mean, I'm definitely going to keep saying this, but this year's Coin Rush, Exia really went crazy during that Coin Rush event. I was not expecting that. And I also did her treasure, and I really liked that treasure story. And Exia is a pro gamer, and she's pretty cute, even though she looks like she never goes to sleep. And yeah, that's enough. I'm putting her in the A tier, around right here. I think that looks fine. Flora. Now, Flora, I do like her design. However, she got one event that was very forgettable last year. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the event right before the winter event last year with the maiden and the guillotine. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot about the event. However, I do think she looks good, so she got lucky. I'm putting her at the C tier. Yeah, probably under Biscuit is what I like. Next is Folkwang. Now, I also really like how Folkwang looks. My main drawback, though, I guess other than the fact that I don't know if she's gotten a lot of screen time. She did get a decent amount of screen time during Rumani's event last year, but, I mean, that event, I enjoyed that event, actually, for the most part. It's just Rumani was kind of forgettable, and, I mean, the main drawback for Folkwang, though, in my opinion, is she is a bit too sweaty, and I usually like living in hot places, so that poses a problem where I feel like I'm going to walk around with Folkwang holding a bucket more than anything. That being said, I would put her in the C tier. Probably there, looks fine. Next up is Freema. Now, dang it, this is another one of the units that got lucky this year. Freema, I didn't know she had all that, okay, until I checked out the summer event this year. Freema, I did not know it was also a sleeper unit, I would say, but, I mean, other than that, Freema, I would probably say I like her the second most out of the cafe squad, but all she really does is sleep. However, that summer event really helped her out, so she gets B tier, probably right there is fine. Next up is Grave. Now, Grave is a little unfortunate. I like how Abe looked originally, and I don't know, it's a bit kind of weird to get Grave here because she's pretty broken up and not all in one piece. And also, I really like Siren and Cindy, and it feels a bit weird in this case for Grave to be kind of like the mom and me running around trying to get Cindy and Siren. But other than that, I mean, there's not really much to say about Grave. I do like her skin, though. And if this wasn't a wife tier list, then maybe she'd be in a different spot. But I'm going to put her in the D tier. About, yeah, right there. Currently the top of D tier, I would say. Next up is Guillotine. Now, Guillotine, I would say it is a bit too schizo for me. She's always going on about, I don't even know half the time, if I'm being honest. However, she is a gamer now, I've seen, and I don't know, I feel like it'd be at least okay in that aspect, but I would probably put her around the same tier as Epinel and Chime. We don't really get a lot about her. She did get the winter event last year, but if I'm being completely honest, that event was mostly about Maiden because we were inside, like, Guillotine's nymph for the most part, so it was kind of like Guillotine was there, but at the same time, Guillotine wasn't. I guess during that event, it was pretty nicely ended, but, I don't know. I would probably put her at E, though, with these three. I think this is a good pairing for Guillotine. Now, Guilty. I actually really like Guilty. Last year's summer event with the Sakura and Rosanna, Guilty was very good during that event, especially the swimsuit she went with, if you know what I mean. But for the most part, I definitely do think I like her out of the rest of the rehabilitation people, because I feel like she's a bit misunderstood. Now, she can crush you very, very easily, and she is a bit volatile emotion-wise, but I feel like if she could just get control of her strength somehow and fix that aspect, I feel like she would just be perfect. So, that being said, that part of her is still apparent, so I would probably put her in the B tier. Yeah, I like her right here. I really liked her during the summer event, dude. Maybe I put Yunwa above her. Yeah, for right now, I'll put Guilty there. Now, Haran is a bit weird, because to me, she never really felt like the romantic type. It was a bit awkward. I'm not really sure, and she's playing around with crows, which, I don't know, gives me a bit of a weird vibe, but all in all together, I don't know, it's just the vibes of her not giving off any romantic things, but it's kind of on the border of probably C or D, but I'm going to put her at the top of D for that. Yeah, I don't know if she's completely my type. Next up is Helm. Now, Helm, I swear, gets so much love from this game. Last year, she was in the Evangelion collab, and then she got a gacha skin during that time, and then I'm pretty sure it was around the same time she got a treasure, or did that happen before? I don't remember. But the treasure, she went on the crazy mode offensive, So definitely nothing to complain about with Helm. That being said, my S tier is definitely very, very competitive. However, I would definitely put her as easy A tier. Yeah, I probably do like Emma though better. Next up is Isabel. Now, originally during the campaign, I didn't like Isabel. Actually, I guess I didn't really like any of the Inherent during me playing through the campaign. But, I mean, a lot of them did grow on me a bit during the 3rd anniversary event. And Isabel especially, because I didn't really realize that's exactly why she was so yandere-like during the campaign. And all in all, I feel like she'd be nice. I don't think she would stab you, and I think that's good enough for me, so I would put her in the B tier. Now, Jackal. We definitely have to discuss the exotic topic, since, you know, she was in the same squad with Crow and Viper, and all the shenanigans happened. However, unlike those two, I don't think Viper really had a fault. She's kind of just very, I guess, impressionable and just followed orders. And I feel like if you just give her some nice reinforcement, she could be an okay person. And she's pretty adorable. So I would actually put Jackal in the daughter tier. We'll put her right there. I definitely forgive Jackal for a lot of the shenanigans she pulled during the campaign. However, I can't say the same for the others. Anyways, moving on. Julia. Now, I'm not the biggest Julia fan, and she never really gets any screen time, like, at all. I guess she did finally get some with her treasure and the latest, I guess, winter celebration with the Terminus ticket. But, I mean, during that, she kind of didn't really do anything except play songs and had, like, 3 lines. And then, dang it, I don't think I did do her treasure. Yeah, unfortunate. I don't think it would probably change my mind that much, but yeah, I'd put her around C tier. I think this looks fine. Alright, next up is K. Now, I don't think I like K as much as D. I definitely do like K's character and her whole, like, character arc, I guess, but that's not exactly what we're talking about. Because, I mean, it is a bit different than Yunwa. I guess I was talking about Yunwa's character arc, but that kind of changed her personality, whereas Kay is more about redemption, I guess, and she didn't really personally change too much, at least not yet, right? At the end of her event, it was kind of a step in the right direction, but we're not privy to what happened exactly after. So, for that reason, I think I would put Kay probably in the C tier around here. I think that's probably fine. Alright, next is Kilos. Now, this is very funny. When I was making these icons, by the way, because I couldn't really find a tier list that had exactly what I wanted, so this is one that I made myself. And when I was making all these icons, I realized that Kilos, you know, doesn't have Kilos in the thing, so it looks like it's just Talos. It's just like me saying, okay, well, it's Talos' wife tier now. And for that reason, I was like, all right, well, I'll leave it in because it's funny. Which, if you really think about it, if I was going for Talos, that'd be a robot fucker. Which, in this game, I mean, would that matter too much? Anyways, we're talking about Kilos. Okay, this stands for Kilos. I think Kilos was kind of the same architect as Mori, except I don't think I liked her the most. She did have a lot of stuff during the crown celebration. I don't remember too much of what she did though. But I also like Talos. Talos is goofy, and I don't know how you made a robot AI silly like that, but I definitely like that. And I think Kilos and Talos will get the C tier. Now, Lapis, I would probably say Lapis is one of those characters that I don't see as romantic. If anything, maybe like cool, but also I don't know if I would want to be with Lapis because I would have to fix a lot of windows, and I don't really subscribe to that idea. So that being said, I would probably put her in the D tier. I think, yeah, this is probably fine. Alright, next is Leona. Now, I really like Leona's design, and she comes with Timmy, dude. Come on, you have to pay respect to the GOAT Timmy. And because of that, I think she gets an extra point, but I guess I don't really see her a lot, like screen time wise. She did get a monthly costume. Was it last year or was it this year? I think it was last year. Yeah, because it was before the first wave Evangelion, I think. And I liked that skin. It changed also Timmy's look, which was hilarious. I really wish they do that more. Do they do that for Biscuit? They definitely did that for Litter, I think. And what's his face? The robot dog. Oh no, I'm stupid. Bolt. There you go. I think his name's Bolt, right? Bolt. Yeah, there you go. They changed his look a bit, and I love that. They need to do that more. But anyways, back to Leona. Leona, I would put at B tier, probably in between Delta and Brit here. Yeah, that looks fine. Alright, next is Liberalia. Now, I definitely like Liberalia. She's pretty cute. I definitely like the whole distinction that she's basically like a cat. That being said, if we're being honest, Liberalia is kind of the reason the whole Inherit Squad is murdered. And, I mean, I can't really put her anywhere else. I would say she's still a bad guy. She kind of mellowed out, I guess, during the campaign chapters, but, like, I don't know if we completely changed her mind. I think at the very least we made her second guess what she was thinking, but, like, she did kind of kill all of the Inherit Squads, and then, you know, it's the reason why all of the other Pioneer Squad almost died. And I guess if you really think about it, she's the reason why we don't have Nilister here anymore. So for that reason, F tier. In fact, I think she's at the bottom of F tier. We'll see at the end of this, though. Now, here is Litter. Now, Grandma, I don't think is a wife material. However, I don't hate her character. I think it's silly, and I like Volt, but I don't think Grandma's wife material. So definitely going to pair her up with the rest of the E tier. Yeah, by the way, this is why I wanted to separate like this tier with this tier, because I don't want to pair up someone like this with someone who I actually don't like. I feel like that'd be messed up. Alright, so next up is Ludmilla. Now, Ludmilla, I definitely like her design. She got the winter alts, which I also really like. I didn't check out that event, though, unfortunately. But I definitely like Ludmilla. And, I mean, recently I don't think she's gotten the most screen time. But I mean, all in all, Ludmilla is a very, very solid choice. I'm putting her in the B tier around this. There we go. Oh, nope, right there. That looks fine. Maiden. Okay, here's another top hitter. I really, really like Maiden. Everything that I said about Alleg basically also applies to Maiden. And the thing about Maiden, though, is Maiden had that winter alt, which was very, very crazy mode. And I definitely do like the whole gag of her trying to gimp us into signing like a marriage form. I think that's funny. And I mean, I don't know what you can say. Maiden definitely has a sleeper build. I think she was the first SSR that I pulled. And I didn't really expect her to go crazy and expect her to like her that much. I guess until the summer event last year when she got a new skin and it was the bikini. And then she was playing the fishing minigame. Man, like, come on. I love the fishing minigames. And, I mean, that winter ult was just crazy. I love Maiden. Maiden goes third currently. Yep, I would put her right there. Next up is Mana, another one of these office worker archetypes. I definitely like Mana, probably in the same way I like Dola, even though I definitely do think she's a bit sus, kind of like Ether. However, I do think Mana is at least a good person. And also, I really like the glasses on Mana. I am kind of biased to glasses, actually, now I'm thinking about it. But I don't think that translates to this, right? How many people have glasses? I guess 8 has glasses. Actually, not a lot of people in this game have glasses, now I'm thinking about it. Which, I mean, does make sense, right? If you're going to make a android robot soldier, why would you make their eyesight bad? Actually, wait, Corey. I'm stupid. Corey's eyesight's horrendous, but she doesn't wear glasses. I guess that's the whole gag, but yeah, there's not a lot of glasses in this game. Anyways, what was I saying? Mana. Mana, I would say, is probably on the same tier as Dala, but I think I would like Dala more. So we'll probably put her here. No, I like her more than Drake. I think this is fine. Marciana. Now, Marciana, I love Marciana. Marciana's gotcha skin put her stocks through the roof. I already liked Marciana's teacher vibes going on, And let's see, the last time she got a bunch of screen time, I think was during the Evangelion collab, the first wave. But I don't think we've gotten much after that. She needs to get a treasure, man. Give Marciana more screen time, please. Marciana, I would say, definitely on the same level as Emma, but I would put probably Emma a bit higher. Now, Mary. Mary, I also like a lot. She's got the nurse architect. We don't have a lot of nurse architects in this game. I guess her and Pepper, but they put her in the bunny outfit last year during the, what was it? I think it was with Soda and Alice. Alice had that bunny outfit as well, but she was put into one as well during that event, and that was awesome. That being said, I don't like needles a lot. It's not like I have a phobia of needles, but they give me the EBGBs, bro. I swear it was those videos in like health class during school that were like showing people shooting up heroin or something. I don't know. It just always give me the EBGBs now. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Anyways, I would put Mary as an easy A. Probably, yeah, right here. Alright, next up is Mask. And again, another person who, at the beginning, I didn't like the craziest, but she's definitely been on the come up, especially during this year's Maid event with the whole dating sim. That event was really, really nice. I think it was so fucking silly that everybody got their own, like, architect, and Trony was just kind of being a tsundere, I guess, but at the same time, not really. She was kind of just throwing insults and not the other part of that, so it was kind of weird, but if you're a masochist and into feet, that event was perfect for you with Trony. That being said, Mast. Mast is definitely fire. That event made her stocks go actually mongo, but I would probably put her B tier, around guilty-ish. I don't think she swings up to par with some of these, but, I mean, she's definitely not a slacker. If anything, some of these are probably, like, on the edge of going up or down. Especially with, like, these. And then S tier is very competitive. I definitely tried to stray away from having, like, 30 people up here. So, I mean, keep that in mind, I suppose. Now, Maxwell, I like out of all of the Mattis members. I think I like her the most. Even though, I mean, she kind of has the same thing where she wants to experiment on us. And it's kind of into the weird vibes like Ether. But I think Maxwell, at the very least, wouldn't murder us, I would say. At least I'd hope so, but I definitely like Maxwell. I don't know if she's gotten a lot of screen time recently, other than the campaigns. Currently, I think we're with Mattis the most in the campaign. I think we're still with them. No, because that just ended. So I think now, actually, we won't see Mattis for a decent amount until, actually, I mean, I guess until they get their own events, which should be in the come-up eventually. I mean, they showed up in the campaign with their new overspecs, right? We should be getting that, I mean, sooner rather than later. At least I'd hope. Anyways, Maxwell, I would put in the B tier. Very easy B tier. Probably around Ludmilla. I think I'd like her a bit more than Ludmilla, though. Alright, Mika. I mean, basically exactly what I said about Bella Orta is the same thing that I'm going to say about Mika. So, putting her in the daughter tier, we'll just leave it like that. Mihara. Now, Mihara is actually very weird for me to rate. First things first, original Mihara, I don't really like the whole crazy sadist play. I don't mind it, but I think she went to the extreme where at that point I mind it. That being said, I do like Mihara's design. The problem, though, is she completely lost her memories very, very early in the campaign. And so now, she's basically not even the same person, and kind of doesn't really have a personality. But that being said, I mean, it is kind of like K, where during the 0.5 anniversary this year, it kind of showed her moving forward. However, we don't know to what extent and how that's going to pan out. So, I mean, unfortunately, maybe it'll actually put her stocks up for me. But currently, I mean, the original Mihara wasn't the keenest on, and her losing her memories is kind of so I'll put her in the D tier for now. Milk. Now, Milk is the tomboy hero of this game, I would say. And that bunny event with Milk is something that I never know I needed until I got it. That's all I'm saying. Milk is fire, S tier, easily. I guess I didn't play through her favorite item, which I definitely need to do that. But just alone, peeping Milk in the bunny event this year was just enough, especially that Bond story. Oh my goodness, that Bond story was also fire. Milk is goated, okay? Also, I really like the Gap Moes in this game, especially with Milk. Milk is definitely one of the examples I would use, how she's the tomboy, but also she's very embarrassed and shy when it comes to like going on dates. It's just the Gap Moes. Perfect. I love it. S tier, easy for Milk. Miranda, I think I probably like Miranda the best out of all of the police units. Miranda is really, really stupid, and sometimes I'm like, okay, Miranda, come on, you're not that dumb, please, man. But she is very, very silly. I like how even though she's not all there and very, very silly, she still shows up to help the citizens of the Ark. And I definitely liked her a lot during the Resident Evil collab, which she has Jill to thank for that, by the way. I would put her at C tier, around here, yeah. Modernia. Now, this is probably my most sus one, because what's weird is I liked Marian a lot. We didn't really see much of her, right? She literally got murdered in the tutorial. But, I mean, Modernia is kind of also weird, because we didn't really see much of her until, like, we had to run away, and then she had to go to the Crown Kingdom. And, I mean, even still right now, it's like she's kind of doing her own thing. And honestly, for me, it's hard to get a good read on her. But, I mean, I don't know. However, she did get that free skin, and then the Gotcha skin I really like. But, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people really, really like Modernia, but I'm not the biggest fan of Modernia. That being said, I probably would still put her, like, C tier. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a bit weird for me. Alright, next is Moran. Now, Moran is kind of unfortunate because Sakura and Rosanna got their summer skins. Meanwhile, Moran kind of just got left behind. And, I mean, I didn't play through her event, which I definitely heard that it's really good. And, I mean, even still, during the campaign, I definitely like what Moran was doing. Also, I like her whole shtick with, I mean, kind of the same thing where she's being really, really dumb like Miranda. But at the very least, she at least still tries to help people, even if a little bit naive as a quote-unquote gangster should be. So I'd probably put her at the top of C tier. Next up is Mori. Now, I have said this before that I didn't like Mori's character at all, like at the beginning of Siren's event, that 2.5 anniversary, but she definitely growed on me a lot towards the end. And she's got the tomboy architect, which I really, really like. And I feel like Mori deserved some love, especially after being discarded, and I really like the fact that she was able to move on, and I think that whole shtick was very, very perfect for her, so I put her in the C tier, around the same. Now, Naga. Naga is also one of the Oreo archetype thingies that I was talking about, and I really, really like Naga. Naga's Gotcha skin was crazy, and I actually did play through Naga and Tia's original event, and I'm not gonna lie, at the end of that event, it was fucked up. You had to pick one or the other. Why did they do that, man? That was messed up. If they were gonna do that, could they at least exclude a scene of the other one that didn't get chosen being sad? That was messed up, man. That made me feel so messed up. That being said, Naga, W, S tier, easy. Actually, would I put a leg over Naga? I don't know. Naga's Gotcha skin is so fire, though. Oh, no, I'll probably put Naga above. Nayuta. Now, I really, really like Nayuta's design. I think she's also got the side boob going on, just like Brid. However, she was kind of on fraud duty during the 3rd anniversary, I must admit. And also, she's got, what, like 500 copies at least? Am I going to have to handle all of those as well? Now, I'm not very confident that I can handle 500 of hers, okay? I am at least a decent amount of confident I can handle one-on-ones. At the very least, I will either handle it or I will die trying like a true man. However, Nayuta, I don't know if the 500 versus 1 is very favorable odds. However, design fire, I have to put her in the B tier at least. I really like her clothes design, man. It reminds me of Gintama, and I really like that show, so B tier definitely. Probably the top of B tier too. Next up is Neon. Now, Neon got very, very lucky as well for the campaign chapters recently, where she was kind of giving it to Viper. I really liked her giving it to Viper, and I mean, she's really, really goofy. I liked her design. She's got this summer alt, which I also liked. She's not very, like, romantic, I guess, during the whole game. However, I definitely think her being really, really silly, but then every once in a while, just the very sliver amount where she locks in, I actually really, really like. So, for that reason, Neon would be going in the B tier, which unfortunately right now, I feel like she's getting cooked in the campaign. God damn it. They better not do something terrible to her, man. That'll make me mad. Alright, next up is Nero. Now, Nero's got kind of the same thing going on with her as Biscuit does, but I do like cats a little bit better than dogs, and I think Nero is pretty goofy. I haven't played through her event, though. Unfortunately, I have heard that one's pretty good, too, so hopefully I can check that out soon-ish, but I definitely like Nero. I would probably put her a little bit above Biscuit, because, I mean, she's got the same thing going on as Biscuit, but I like her a little bit better. Probably enough to knock her up a tier. Yeah, probably around there. Alright, next is Neve. Neve is one of those characters that doesn't get any screen time, so honestly, I don't really know much about her. I like her design a lot, but, I mean, she doesn't really get any screen time, so I can't really base her personality too much. I'm not sure if she showed up during the Winters event before, which, if that's the case, then, stupid me, but right now, I mean, I can just put her at D tier, and we'll just leave it at that. Now, next is Nilister. Now, I really like Nilister's design. I would love, absolutely love, for her to somehow mellow out and kind of be a part of the whole gang, but unfortunately, one, that is not very likely, especially not right now when she's kind of gone. But I mean, even in general, I feel like she would probably just throw a bunch of flame around, and that does not sound fun. So I'd have to put her in the F tier, because I would rather not get burned to a crisp. However, I really like her design, so it's kind of grieved, man. Oh, please let her mellow out somehow, please, or at least have a truce or something. Now, next is No, another one of the inherent units that I didn't really like at all. That being said, she definitely growed on me during the 3rd anniversary when we finally found out why exactly she acts like she does. That being said, I don't think she's the most wife material, so I probably put her, I think this is the perfect spot for her along with everybody else. Next up is Noise. I really like Noise. I don't think she gets a lot of screen time, and I feel like she did get her own event, right? She definitely has her own gacha skin, which I really like that gacha skin. If they rerun that, I'll definitely cop that. But I mean, other than that, I feel like Noise is probably the most normal out of her squad of Volume and Aria. But I might like Volume a bit more. For that reason, I'm going to put her at A tier. We'll put her right there. Yeah, I think that's a perfect spot for her. Alright, next is Novel. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Novel gets, like, any screen time. And, I mean, for that alone, I don't really know too much about that. But he's just kind of just playing detective all the time. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know anything about her. Actually, yeah, I think for that reason, I'll probably put her in the D tier. Probably, like, yeah, around Julia, I think is perfect. She's more like a Julia to me than anything else. Alright, next is Pepper, another nurse unit that we don't have a lot in this game, so the ones that we do have, I think they're at the very least somewhat wife material. That being said, Pepper, when's the last time she showed up? Dang it, I don't remember, but I definitely think Pepper is the at least decent choice, but I don't really know if there's much to say about Pepper. I'd probably put her around there, though. I definitely liked her during the summer events, and every once in a while when she shows up, I think it's at least a treat. Alright, so next is Phantom. Phantom also got one of the funny gags where she's supposed to be a phantom thief, and especially because she's supposed to be a librarian, but she cannot spell for shit. And every single little letter that she throws to be like, I'm gonna rob this place tonight, is spelled in the worst possible way ever, to the point where I don't even know how you do that. So That being said, I think Phantom is very goofy with the double identities, and she's pretty well designed, I say. So yeah, around Pepper, I'd say, is perfect. Polly's another one of these that I really, really like, but not to the point of wife tier. If anything, I would probably say she's the same as this category. So yeah, probably around there. I actually probably like her better than these two though. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, next is Privity. Privity is also top tier, I would say. Especially, I really liked her during the Stellar Blade collab with the whole questioning her authority with the Ark. And she was like, hey, well, there's a survivor on the surface, and you guys told me that there actually weren't any survivors on the surface. So what's about that, huh? And, I mean, she's got pretty good skins. And then the maid alt, I mean, come on, dude. She's a perfect tsundere character. The classic architect. You have to pay respect to the classic, okay? So it's easy A for Privity. Next is Quincy. Now, Quincy, I don't like as much as Guilty, but at the very least, I do like Quincy's shenanigans. She's got that alt that I really, really like. And, I mean, she just got a skin announced, which I also really like that skin just from the preview alone. However, she never really learned her lesson during the rehabilitation whole shenanigans, but I think she definitely at least mellowed out after it. And I mean, I did like her during the Phantom event, so it kind of cancels that out. So I'd probably put her in the C tier, like here. Yeah, that looks fine. Next is Corey. Now, Corey is also pretty goofy, but I don't like her the craziest. I don't think she's had her own separate thing, so she doesn't get a lot of screen time. But I definitely do think it's funny that these guys somehow managed to manufacture a Nikke that has really bad eyesight and they just are not rectifying it. Like, what kind of goofy ass thing is happening in the Ark's government where they're just like, someone part of the police that can't see shit. We'll just leave it at that. But anyways, not too much to go off of Corey here, so we'll put her right here, it's fine. Next up is Rappy, the main heroine, quote unquote. Even though she's definitely not close to my main heroine, probably. I really like Rappy, though. Her event this year was just crazy stocks for her. Rappy Red Hood is crazy. She literally got the free costume this year, which was crazy. I really liked that. And, I mean, her summer outfit was very crazy. The only unfortunate part is she just keeps getting cucked for some reason, just permanently in the cuck chair. I do find that funny. However, I mean, we can give her a dub eventually. Come on, guys. I at least thought the free costume was going to be her getting at least close to a dub. I guess she has a daughter now, but I mean, whatever. I'm going to put her at S tier. I like her a lot, but we're moving on, okay? Rapunzel. I really like Rapunzel. I think she was the first pilgrim I pulled, and I definitely like the whole nun look. Might be a bit sacrilegious, but that's neither here or there. Definitely her sticking to her guns, running around the surface trying to at least hope everybody gets a safe passing. I really liked that part about her. And even though she writes really weird hentai mangas about the commander, I at least think she deserves a slot in S tier for me. I don't think she's better than Cindy though, but I definitely like her a lot. Please give her something cool, costume. That she has a costume. The old Rapunzel look though was crazy. That definitely went hard. Alright, next is Red Hood. Red Hood's definitely a classic. She recently got a gacha skin. It's a bit weird though, because she was, especially in the campaign, kind of not there, but also there because she was inside Rappy. So, I mean, it is kind of hard to rate her as the wife, but I mean, Red Hood's just classic. I mean, you can't go wrong with Red Hood. She's easy S tier. I mean, I saw that gacha skin and then the free dress. Like, come on, man. There's no shot I can put her down anywhere. It's just not fair. All right, next is Ray. Ray is another one of the daughter tiers. We're just going to put her there and move on. Rosanna. Rosanna is a very feisty one, but I do not mind that during the summer event, she went crazy last year. And, I mean, I don't really know if there's much to talk about. Rosanna's just pretty crazy mode. She knows exactly what she wants. And during the April Fool's event, I think it was last year, that was definitely very funny. How she pulled up to the hotel. So definitely easy A tier for Rosanna. All right, next is Rogue. Now, Rogue, I do think I like how she looks, but she doesn't really have too much to go for her. The whole superstition thingy, I don't really get too much. But, I mean, I like Rogue. Her gotcha skin this time was really, really nice. And then she was pretty helpful during the Coin Rush event. And I definitely liked her during that event. So I think for that, we give her a B tier. Easy. Now, Romani. I definitely like the way Romani looks. But like I said before, her event was kind of forgettable. I definitely remember parts of the event. But I feel like mostly the things I remember about that event were about, what's her name? Nadia, I think? The girl in the wheelchair, rather than actually Romani. However, I do think I like Romani's whole don't give up attitude that she was showing Nadia and trying to help her back on her feet. I definitely like that a lot, but other than that, I mean, I don't know if I would put her too crazy up. Probably around here is perfect. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Rupee. Now, Rupee is one of the few gal characters, and I'm not gonna lie, I do have a soft spot for the gal characters. Sometimes I be reading a lot of mangas about the Gap Moes. Those always go really, really hard, okay? And she's one of the perfect examples of this. I got her signed card when I was opening Union Arena packs. That's also kind of counts. So I'd probably put her A tier easily. We should get some new costumes for her. Or maybe some gal costumes from other characters. I think that'd be fire. Please, that would be fire. Please give it to me, please. Now, next up is Sakura. Sakura's basically got the same thing going for her that Rosanna has. I don't think I would really separate them. I probably like Sakura a bit more than Rosanna, maybe. But it is kind of close. Yeah, I think I probably would put Sakura a little bit above Rosanna. But, I mean, they're kind of the same, at least for me. Alright, Scarlet. I definitely do like Scarlet. Her design is really nice. Wandering the surface being a farmer is kind of silly, and I like that. Her being an alcoholic is kind of funny. The problem, though, is I like my alcohols. Most of them taste regularly fruity, I would say. It's not my fault, dude. I was having some of the, what's it called, like Haichi sake. I really liked that. And then she doesn't like the, I guess, sweet sake. She only likes bitter. Dude, sorry, I like the sweet one. So, even though all that, I'm going to put her in the A tier very easily. Black Shadow, I mean, she's got 2 gacha skins. I guess if we're going to count Black Shadow and regular Scarlet, but whatever. Alright, Signal. Signal, I definitely like. I think the reason I like her the most is because low-key, she's just like me for real. She basically just gets her daily serotonin from watching dramas. I guess most of them are romance dramas, right? But that's literally all she does, and she's just like me for real. I get my serotonin every once in a while from rom-com mangas, dude. So, like, she's literally just like me for real. Alright, that being said, I would put her in the B tier. Yeah, around there, it's fine. I don't think she gets a lot of screen time, though, regularly. I mean, she just showed up in the winter event, but I mean, it was the same thing as Julia. She kind of just did a couple of things and then nothing really happened. But does she have a costume? I actually don't know from the top of my head. Maybe we can give her one. Now, Sin is also someone who got very lucky this year. I really liked her during the Maid event this year, like I guess it was more like the Valentine's Day event, but I liked her during that. She kind of mellowed out, but during the rehabilitation, she was just not behaving and just trying to make you your slave and make other inmates slaves, and that really did not bode well of my opinion of her. However, she got lucky that she made it up a bit during the Valentine's Day event. I don't think it made up for it entirely, but enough for it to be here, I would say. Now, Siren. Siren easily went to my top favorites. In fact, I'm going to rate her right here. I would probably put her as my third. Yeah, third favorite. I love how Siren's design looks. Her gacha skin's fire. The other skin that she got is also fire. She is humanity's strongest soldier and very, very kind to everybody. She was the reason why the queen was having such a hard time, and why Gluttony wasn't going around like shooting beams out of his fucking mouth or something. But, I mean, other than that, not much to say about Siren. I love Siren. Goated. Probably third for me. Yeah, I think I would go third. Next is Snow White. Now, Snow White, I would say, shares the same problem with Lapis. I don't really see her as, like, romantic but I definitely see her as very cool and like badass. Especially, I mean, the previews of her new fit that literally just dropped. But I don't know. I don't think I would put the gluttonous creature too crazy, but I probably would put her a little bit above Lapras though. Probably, yeah, here-ish. I would probably say she's probably going to be on the verge of these two, but probably still in C. Yeah. Next up is Soda. Soda, another heavy hitter into the charts for me. I think, in fact, I'm rating her right here. Milk or Soda? Fuck, that's actually kind of hard. Milk's got... I mean, both of these have the bunny alts, though, which is unfair, bro. I think I'll put Milk a bit higher. I love Soda so much. Oh, my goodness. During the bunny event, she was trying her hardest to win and get the Maid Cafe up and boost their sales because they were having a hard time, and she was trying her best. I just loved it so much. Soda's so goated. And, does she have a costume, like, regularly? I don't remember, but her bunny outfit's goated enough, and yeah, that's that. Soda, easy top tier for me. I love Soda. Now, Soline. Soline got a lot of love during the winter. She got her own event, and then she showed up for, the Terminus ticket. That was right after that. That being said, I probably would consider her the daughter tier, so let's just put her there and move on. It doesn't matter the order. Sora now, I really, really like Sora design. That being said, I didn't really get too much of her personality when I was playing through her event. She was kind of dicking around in the airplane, I think, at the beginning. But other than that, the event was us just following her around, and I guess she kind of explained why exactly she's doing some back-end smuggling to try to actually help everybody out, and that's kind of how she was forced to live. But, I mean, that being said, not too much to go off of, but I really, really like how she looks, so I'd probably put her around the same as Breddy. Yeah, I think this looks fine for me. Alright, next up is Sugar. Sugar also doesn't give me a lot of vibes of romance, kind of like Lapras and Snow White. Actually, no, it's literally the same as Snow White, I would say. Yeah, so it's like right next to Snow White, I put her. Yeah, this looks actually perfect. Alright, Tia. Tia's got the same thing that Naga's got going on. Unfortunately, she didn't get a Kimono or Yakuta skin with Naga. She got left out, which is fucked up. They did give her a skin during, I think it was Crust's event, right? Or was it Breddy's? Which I really liked that one. And, I mean, she's got the same thing going on with Naga, but I don't like her as much as Naga, so she probably put around right here. Actually, I probably like Arcana a bit better than her. Yeah, this looks fine. Next up is Tove. I definitely like how Tove looks. She got a lot of love during the summer event. She got a nice swimsuit added that I really liked. Her treasure was also very enjoyable. And, I mean, I don't really know if there's much to say about Tove. The only thing you have to put up with is her just random survival shenanigans ideas, like, hey, look, I taped a bunch of hard spaghetti to this shoe, and it'll help us go down the mountain aerodynamically and safely. Like, yeah, sure, there we go. I'll put that on and die. Why don't I? I would put her probably in the B tier. I think this looks perfect. Alright, so next up is Trina. Trina's another one of these, like, Breddy Sora, where I didn't really get too much of their personality from the events, and I also don't really remember too much about her event especially, but I definitely do like her design, and other than the fact that she was just getting naked every chance she could. But, yeah, I don't know. I think she's got the same thing going on with her as Breddy and Sora, but I don't think I like her as much as them, so probably, I think this is where I would put her. Next up is Trony. Now, I must admit, I am not the biggest foot guy, so already Trony isn't going to be the highest for me. That being said, I don't remember too much of Trony's event, and like, at all, actually. So I don't really remember too much. I definitely liked her during the Valentine's Day event, just because she was the gag character, and it was kind of funny. But that being said, I don't know if she's wife tier. So maybe I'll put her, like, here. Yeah, I think I'd put her there. Now, Vesti. I think Vesti is adorable, but I think also Vesti I would categorize as a daughter tier. I don't know, some of these, I think Alice can be made a case, but most of these, I mean, maybe, like, Einer's Way, but since they're the same, quote-unquote, like, class as Ray, I would put them at daughter tier. maybe you can argue Vesti is not daughter tier, but I would see her as a daughter tier. So I'm gonna put just Vesti as daughter tier. She's so adorable, even though she's kind of weird and murderous sometimes. I really, really enjoyed her gag of the Konosuba during the winter event last year, and her just having a RPG and saying explosion. Like, yeah, nice magic spell, bro. You have an RPG, my guy. That's not how it works. Alright, next up is Viper. Now, I must say, I do know a lot of people like Viper, but I am not one of them. I think, honestly, what Neon said to Viper during the last event was really, really hard. And honestly, I agree with Neon. I'm not gonna lie. And I do like her design, her gacha skin. But, I mean, she also one of those characters that really gives me a bad gut feeling. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I have to put her on the F tier, dude. I'm sorry. She just gives me a really bad gut feeling, dude. I have to trust my gut, dude. Last time I didn't trust my gut, it ended up bad for me, alright? So, sue me, I guess. Next up is Volume. Now, Volume is kind of a feisty one. However, I admire the challenge, and I really like her design. I'm telling you guys, we can get Volume in a bunny outfit next year potentially, and that would go crazy. Shift up, do it. It'll sell like hotcakes. I'm putting her at S tier. I think she's probably the cutoff to S tier for me. I think I made this 15, right? Can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I did cut it off at 15, yeah. If I didn't cut it off at 15, I'd feel like I'd just start moving some of these girls up here, which I think cutting it off at 15 is probably the good call. Alright, next up is Yan. Dude, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Yan got crazy love during the summer, even though she didn't really get anything new. That animated scene with Yan was actually very crazy. However, she's a bit weird and business-orientated. A bit too much. I feel like she'd try to scam me. I mean, she did scam the commander out of a, what was it, like a pair of underwear that costed an absurd amount of credits. That being said, I really like the way Yana looks, so I would probably put her above Rumani right here. Yeah, this is a good spot. Alright, Yulha. Yulha has also got the office girl architect that I really, really like. However, I don't really know much of her personality-wise. I don't think she has a lot of screen time, especially recently, but I don't hate Yulha. That being said, I don't know much about her. So, I'd probably put her around here. I think with Trina is the perfect placement. Alright, so now Uni. Uh-oh. I don't like Uni, unfortunately. And in fact, I'm going to place her right here before we talk about her. Now, I know it wasn't Uni's fault entirely, but if she just trusted us that we were going to help, maybe things wouldn't have gone to shit. Now, I did think what she did to Suyin was fun. She deserved it. Suyin definitely deserved it. But, I mean, it left her into a just broken state. She's what, now like a half raptured robot cape thing. And, I mean, I didn't really like Uni originally with Mihara. They also gave me like weird vibes. But I liked Mihara a bit better than Uni. I don't really like Uni too much. Not much to say about that. So I'm moving on. And last but not least, Zwei. Not really much to talk about. I kind of gave away where she's going. She's going to go in the daughter tier with Ain. Not much to say about that. I think all of these three go in the daughter tier. I think this looks fine. Let me take like 5 minutes, see if I move some stuff around. Maybe I changed my mind a bit. Probably not, though. I think I made this list and kind of slept on it. And, I mean, we'll see if I change my mind. Alright, I think this list looks good. The only real change I made was I moved Red Hood above Cindy, which, I mean, is that messed up? I mean, Red Hood did technically kill Cindy originally, if you think about it, during the first anniversary event. Or I guess, I mean, she didn't completely kill Cindy, but, I mean, she kind of did. I mean, yeah, I think I like Red Hood more than Cindy. This was kind of hard to make because there were so many damn units. I was basically going like, okay, I'd make a tier, and then I'd be like, okay, do I like her better than her? No, okay, stay back. Do I like her better than her? Maybe. And then I just keep moving people up. And if anything, I feel like this list was very hard for me. Like, even still, I don't know if I like these two better. The bunny girls are a 2-in-1 combo. Like, I can't get rid of those two. Come on, man. I can't separate the sisters. That's messed up. And they're a 2-in-1 combo. Like, that's written in the law. Like, you can't get rid of that. Very, very funny that I just realized there's, like, no glasses wearing characters. I guess that makes sense, right? But, yeah, and then funnily enough, all of the Oreo combo duo girls are, all of the light skinned girls are one tier under the other ones. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I think overall, a lot of this year's event really upped my, I guess, view on a lot of these characters. Which, I mean, this is a good list, right? If you're going to make a gacha game that's a waifu collector, if most of the list would be down here, I feel like you'd be not doing a good job at, making the waifu collectors appealing. I think this game is very nice. At the very least, I would say up these 4 rows, I would say I would like the characters. And then some of these right here, I would be like, maybe not. At the very least for, like, wife, right? The daughter doesn't count, right? The daughter tiers are its own separate entity. And I love them all equally, okay? I don't choose a favorite daughter. That would be messed up, okay? Even though Ray's at the bottom. That's besides the point, okay? Anyways, I think this list is good. Jesus Christ, I've been yapping for so long. Oh my god. I said I wanted to go through this fast. And honestly, I definitely went through a lot of these characters fast. I probably could have said more about certain characters. But what we need, by the way, is more timeline characters. Obviously, more summer characters, more bunnies, more maids, more winters. They keep doing that, and I'll be happy, alright? But anyways, yeah, I think that is it for me. Jesus Christ. Hopefully this doesn't edit down to too long. I think it will, but I mean, I had to go through 111 characters, so I don't really know what you expected. I'm going to leave a link to this tier list in the description. I did make this, so, I mean, if you want to subtweet me your tier list, go ahead. It's a very long, and honestly, I thought about this for a long time, at least decently, and then I kind of slept on it and was thinking about it at work. I'm definitely doing my job, okay? I'm doing a good job, don't worry. I think that is it for me. Let me know what you guys think about this tier list and what your S tier wives would be, but I think that is it for me. Like I said before, if you want to go down there and move around the tier list I made and make your own, let me know what that looks like. But anyways, I think that is it for me. I'm going to stream, by the way. I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm going to stream when I get home, which will be a bit later than usual. So, I mean, stay tuned for that, I guess. We'll do the Snow White summons and all that stuff, and then I'll get busy on all of that new stuff that comes out. But yeah, anyways, I think that is it for me. So, I will catch you guys later.